I came up with a flower pot house and pitched it to my mom. And what did you initially say?
No.
She did too. This is a working flower farm that my mom runs. And the cool thing here is a lot of the flowers and the greenery in here was actually pulled directly from the attached flower farm. So we were able to create a pretty epic statement light that makes you feel as if like the roots are really coming through the flower pot. That was kind of the design and the goal there. The other random thing that made this project a little challenging, which I don't think we anticipated this at all, was how many people would stop and chit chat.
Oh yeah.
Asking questions, what are you building? Is it a KFC bucket? Is it a Starbucks cup? You name it, we've heard it. Ice cream cone, I forgot about that one. So very small home, very complex, kind of expensive, but maybe cheaper than people think. Hi, I'm Whitney Hansen, and this is my mom, Krista, and we built the flower pot house. So this space is primarily used for guests. It is 100% an Airbnb, but it is a fully functional house. Initially, I heard about the Airbnb OMG Fund, and it was a global call that Airbnb put together to provide 100 winners with $100,000 to help them fund some of the world's craziest, most unique ideas. And so one night on a walk, I was thinking about what would be kind of unique or different, and I came up with a flower pot house and pitched it to my mom. And what did you initially say?
No.
She did too.
In the beginning, I thought, no, we're not putting something like that on one of my properties. But then once we started looking at the design and everything, I was totally sold. And I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be really cool.
I think I was in my home office and I got an email, and I remember calling you and telling you, hey, by the way, we might actually be building a flower pot house. And she's like, you're kidding me. And so it was initially just like such a shock to both of us. We just had no idea. There were, tens of thousands of applications. So we truly didn't think our silly idea of a flower pot house would actually make it, but we're so glad it did. The farm was really the inspiration behind why we chose to do a flower pot house. We were looking for something that was complementary to the flower farm and something that would just be unique and totally out of the ordinary. One of the cool things about this property too is that this farm land was actually farmed by my grandpa, her dad, who I never did get to meet, but it's really fun to just think about him out here just plowing the fields and doing all the crop stuff. I just love that little touch.
My dad would probably say, what on earth did you do? Whitney and I decided, well, we'll find somebody that can build a round structure, which was very, very challenging. It's a little more challenging than a round circle because of the angled walls.
So we got the foundation in place, the framing done. That took about 2 weeks with 2 men. I was shocked. And once that was done, we started to do the stucco process.
While the walls were going up, we were on the other side of it, building cabinets.
Scrambling, thrift shopping a lot, going to all the building rehab stores and trying to find some materials we could use. The other random thing that made this project a little challenging, which I don't think we anticipated this at all, was how many people would stop and chit chat.
Oh yeah.
So many people asking questions. What are you building? Is it a KFC bucket? Is it a Starbucks cup? You name it, we've heard it. Ice cream cone, I forgot about that one. There were so many different people that would just stop and constantly ask questions. So all in, the cost to build the house, this is just the house structure alone, keeping in mind that we already had the land, but we did have to do utilities. So all in, we were about $180,000 for a 435 square foot home. So very small home, very complex, kind of expensive, but maybe cheaper than people think. I think a lot of people think it was a lot more money than that, but that's how much it cost. So the house itself is 435 square feet. It is 24 feet tall, so that's from the base all the way to the flower pot rim. The ceilings inside of here are about 19 feet at the tallest point.
It is a 10-degree angle out, so the bottom here is 20 feet around, but when you get up to the rooftop, it's 30.
Let's take a tour of the house, come on. Welcome to the flower pot. So the first thing you'll probably notice is it's a little bit dark and moody in here, and that was intentional. We wanted you to feel like you were actually inside of a flower pot when we were first dreaming up this property, and I think we did a pretty good job of nailing the moodiness. So when you first walk in, you will see the kitchenette. This is one of my favorite areas in the home because a lot of love and detail came into this space. All of the cabinetry was handmade by my mom and I. We did the shelf, we found these slabs of quartz, which just so happened to be the perfect size for exactly what we wanted. And so we found the quartz on Facebook Marketplace and really helped us save our budget because it saved us almost $1,000, which was great. We have an induction cooktop. So this is just a nice little way if you want to cook a small meal, you want to boil some water for some tea. We've got our coffee maker, which is a necessity. Got to have your coffee in the mornings. And then we have this little beautiful stained glass piece, which was made by an artist in Boise. So this is an 8-foot Dutch door. In the evenings, we like to just open up the window, let the nice breeze come through, and enjoy the beautiful sunsets. So one of the newer features that we added to the flower pot was this beautiful table. My mom and I made it ourselves, and this was our first go at an epoxy resin table. And the cool thing here is a lot of the flowers and the greenery in here was actually pulled directly from the attached flower farm that my mom runs. And so some of these have been pressed and dried for 2 years now. And so when we put this together, we knew that this would be such a fun addition for the property. We're pretty proud of the way it turned out. One thing that's kind of interesting and notable is the walls here. So it's not a straight wall, it actually does truly lean out, but also makes it challenging for design and decorating and just making it a more practical space. So what you'll find is that even some of the artwork that's hanging was a little challenging, and our bench had to be custom made so that we could actually get it to fit against the wall. Over here in the living area, one of the cool features too that you'll see in here is the windows. These were quite a challenge to design and to build. They were a little bit tricky. And so I think our framer maybe loved us, maybe hated us, but it turned out so good. And it really does bring in a ton of that natural light where so many people see the outside and think, oh my gosh, is there gonna be enough windows in here? Surprise, there is. It's not too bad. Well, let's go into the bathroom. The bathroom is bigger than you would think. This space is pretty good size. So we've got about 9-foot ceilings. And in here, there is a Cadillac vanity and a Cadillac shower. And the reason we chose that material is because it was really tricky to find any type of tile that would fit those slanted walls. So because of that, we decided to do this Cadillac system, which is fully waterproof, and it stems from Morocco, I believe. But it's a really easy way to just get this onto the wall and protect it instead of trying to get square or rectangular tile to fit in here. Get centered here, and you get to be like a little plant yourself. We've got the rainfall shower that comes directly on top of your head, so you get to feel rejuvenated, just like a little flower pot. It's kind of cheesy, but we like it. So one of our favorite features about this too is this bird light. This thing is the best. It was a find where we were not sure if it was gonna work, but we're so proud of the way it looks, and we get so many comments about another botanical feature in here. So we just think it's kind of fun. People like that natural element. And so we did definitely put a ton of that kind of stuff, even in the bathroom too. When we were designing up the staircase, there was a lot of different options and there was a lot of different ways we could have approached it. One of the things that we thought was so great was our spiral staircase is actually code compliant, which means it's a massive diameter. So it's a 5-foot diameter, where so many spiral staircases are so tiny that you feel like you're gonna bonk your head. This is a little bit bigger, a little bit more comfortable, and also up to code, which is always important. One of the fun features in the flower pot as well is our gallery wall. So some of these are, of course, the flower themed, but some of them have a story. So this is part of the process when we were doing the build itself. And this kind of shows exactly what it looked like before we had the stucco on the outside. So let's go upstairs. We are in the sleeping loft. This is the area that people go to relax, they just get to hang out, and we have a lot of fun features that help initiate that relaxation in this space as well. Starting with the bed. This is the comfiest bed, I'm serious. It's so good, it's very, very cozy, and when you're in the flower pot and you have all of the curtains and blinds closed, you just feel like you're in a cave. So you really can lose track of time, which is exactly what we wanted. Over here, you have our rooftop ladder. So this takes you up to the rooftop patio, which we'll do in just a little bit. And then one of our favorite features is the record player. The record player may seem like a small touch, but it's actually a really big thing. Throughout the build, we listened to a ton of different artists. All of these records have artists that we were listening to during this build. So it really is a little bit more personal. It's not just curated, it was actually very intentionally curated. And so we have lots of different choices for people to just kind of relax, take in their records, and just really get that acoustic vibe in here going, because it really is great for that. With the build, we tried to do a lot of recycled and reclaimed materials, including these lights. So these lights were found at a recycled, I guess, equipment store where people would go for building materials. So we found these, and we weren't sure if they were going to work, but I'm so glad they did, because it kind of gives it a vintage, unique feel. And it really does help kind of just set that mood with that down lighting. It just makes it really pretty in here at night. So with this chandelier, we found the base light with all of the bulbs on Facebook Marketplace. I think it was $120. And then we found these little vines from Hobby Lobby, and they have wires in them. So we were able to kind of jimmy rig this together, wrap it around the light fixture, and create a pretty epic statement light that makes you feel as if like the roots are really coming through the flower pot. That was kind of the design and the goal there. All right, now we're gonna go to one of the best spots, the upstairs rooftop patio. This almost didn't happen, but I'm so glad we made it work. So come on, let's go check it out. The rooftop patio is incredible, and there's a few things I definitely want to point out. All of these tile are recycled rubber, and the reason we chose to do this is because it's a little bit lighter weight for our roof, and it's also a little bit softer on your feet, which is so nice for soundproofing, that kind of stuff too. But here's the kicker. All the tiles, every single one of these had to be hoisted up by hand. So my mom and I had this system where I would stand by the roof hatch and I had a rope. She would fill this bag with like 5 or 6 tile at a time, and I would pull it up. And we did that for every single one of these, and pretty much everything on here was hoisted up by my mom and I, and it was a pain in the butt. It was so hard and so challenging. But one of the goals this year is we're really working on getting it to feel a little bit more green and lively up here. So what you can see is the start of our honeysuckle vines and our clematis, and just some additional climbing vine plants, so that in a couple of years, all of the vines will kind of cascade over the rim of the flower pot, and it will give you more of that illusion from the outside as well. The other perk is the honeysuckle smells so nice. So you'll be sitting up here and you can smell the little flowers from the honeysuckle. So one of the coolest features about this property being specifically in Burley is there isn't a ton of light pollution. And it's so great because you don't really get that experience very often. In the city, everything's so polluted, you don't really get to see the stars, but out here you can truly see on a really good day all of the Milky Way and all of the stars. It's so beautiful. And then of course we have some additional solar lights and things up here to help really add to the ambiance and make it so that you can actually see when you're up here too. Let's make our way over to the back patio where there is a ton of fun features and amenities for guests to enjoy. This is one of the best features. You can sit in the hot tub as I throw the lid and enjoy the beautiful sunset, have your favorite beverage, and just relax and just take in all of the view. The cool thing about this is the sunsets hit exactly this direction, and it truly is so beautiful. We get some incredible colors out here. Just being surrounded by nothing but farmland is amazing. Over here, we have the dining table. So that you can just kind of sit, eat your meals outside. Hi, Pod. Can you go play? Can you go play, puppers? Can you go play? You making an appearance? So we've got a dining area. We've got enough chairs for 4 people. Again, just so you can really take in all of the views and just be surrounded by the farm. You can see tractors go by. You sometimes see dust come up. You get to watch the crops change over the years. It's really a really fun experience that so many people are very detached from. So we really love the idea that you can be here, you can see how food is actually grown and actually observe all of that work being done by the farmers locally. So let's go over to the fire pit area. This space is a ton of fun and there's a lot of things here too, starting with this fire pit. This is an old concrete crusher and it is so heavy, like truly heavy. When we got it in place, it had to be lifted in with a tractor. And once it sat on the ground, it was stuck. So if there was any adjusting we needed to do, we had to get over it because it is so heavy. But the cool thing about this is it really gives you that fun kind of community feel when you're staying here. So everybody has a lot of warmth from the fire. We've got the firewood on site. But it is kind of fun that it was a recycled concrete crusher. Let's come out to the yard space. This is a work in progress. We're really excited about what it will be in the future. But for now, we've got a couple cornhole games. In the future, we hope to have some more outdoor games that are just kind of fun where kids can just come run around, relax, and just enjoy the space. But the cornhole was custom built. My mom actually built this and had a friend do some engraving. So they engraved our logo on the flower pot on the cornhole, which is kind of fun. Okay, in the background, you probably see the farm. This is a working flower farm that my mom runs. And the way this works is it's a you-pick farm, which means people get to come here during the summer, pick their own flowers, make their own bouquet, do their own arranging. It is the best. It's so much fun. And when you're a guest at the flower pot, you also get to pick your own bouquet and arrange your own flowers too. So that's all of this section over here. And there's also a pumpkin patch in the fall. That is really kind of fun too. So you can pick your own pumpkin and just really get a different type of farm stay experience.
If you were talking to somebody who is, taking on a unique project or a unique build process like this, what advice would you have for them?
Have a lot of patience. Get along real well with your daughter.
Totally have a sense of humor.
We had a few disagreements on things that we wanted to do, and I'm going to say as a mom, it's the funnest time of my life.
Stop.
No, it really is. It's the funnest time of my life.
It's really fun when you do these really weird projects. It just gives you kind of just a sense of, I can't believe I did that. It's just really quite surreal, truly.
If you like this week's episode, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And check back soon because we have new unique home tours publishing all the time. And if you'd like to join our team and get access to members-only content and unique perks, make sure you click on the join button below.